Hi, how are you today?
Hi, doing well. How are you?
I'm good. My name's Layla. I'm going to be your social worker today.
Okay, nice to meet you, Layla.
Nice to meet you. So, before we begin, I just want to go over some confidentiality forms with you.
Okay.
So, basically, all this says right here, you can look at it if you like, is that everything we say here today will
Mm-hmm.
be between me and you. The only other person that will look at it is my teacher for educational purposes. And if you report any indication that you would like to harm yourself or someone else, that would have to be reported.
Okay, understood.
Do you have any questions about that?
No, got it.
Okay, so what brings you in today?
Well, I have a lot of social anxiety, and I'm really drained anytime I have to go out, or even like with friends and family that I want to spend time with. I feel like I can't be articulate when I'm around people. I feel like I talk in circles. I feel like they're kind of judging me and really just putting up with me, and that they don't really want to hang out with me.
So what I'm hearing is that you think like everyone is kind of out to get you in a way. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you feel that way? You think?
I don't know. I just worry that people really don't want to be hanging out with me, and that I don't have much to say. Like, cuz I live such a everyday routine, I really don't have much to talk about, cuz I just school and work, and that's it. And I don't really have that many hobbies or interests.
That's okay. School and work is a lot. Like I'm sure you have a lot of experiences just from that.
Yeah, I do. It takes up all my time, so.
Can you explain a little bit like about work and school? What do you do?
Well, I work from home, and then for school, I'm doing an internship, but I only have one day off.
Mm, it's hard.
It is. It's pretty tiring, but I like my job. One of the pros to it is I don't have to work with people, so I don't really feel anxious at all with work. But my internship kind of makes me nervous because I deal with clients over the phone, and I have a lot of anxiety on the phone. Like, what if I say something wrong, or I don't know. I'm kind of soft spoken, so I'm always being asked to repeat myself. And I feel like that's one reason people might not like hanging out with me, because they can't even hear me.
I wouldn't say that. A lot of people talk softly. Like honestly, I think I do. So that's okay. But like, how does like the conversations like go on the phone? Like, why do you think that they don't like the way you speak?
I just feel like they're gonna ask me something and I won't have the answer to it. And I hate being uncertain. Even if I have the slightest bit of doubt, like I have to go ask someone above me, so I have 100% clarification.
But that's okay. Like, I'm sure that the customers would rather like you have a definite answer than just like, oh, it might be this. Because then what if like they do something that's wrong?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. Like, like the only reason why you ask is because you care.
This is true. Yeah.
Hmm. So, like, in terms of like your social anxiety, like, can you explain a little bit more about that?
Well, I think I'm kind of a flaky person. Like, I'll make plans with someone, and then I just have anxiety about actually getting dressed and going out and doing what we plan to do. And even when I meet with friends that I've been friends with like for a while, I'll still get nervous. Like it's our first time meeting almost, and I'm like, oh hi, how are you doing? Like I'm just awkward, but I think it's in my head.
Can you explain like what you think about when that happens, like with your, especially even like your close friends?
Like I feel like I'm being unnatural is the best way to put it. Like
Do like your friends know that you have social anxiety?
they do, yeah.
And what do they like say about that or think about it that you think?
I mean, they try to be relatable, and they're like, oh yeah, I have anxiety for this and that. But I mean, it's different because to me, they seem like they can talk to anyone and anytime with ease. And for me, I feel like I'm just not articulate, or I don't know.
But if they do have anxiety, they might like feel the same way you do, but everyone kind of might just like be trying to push it off a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like we're all in our own worlds anyway in our heads. Sometimes I tell myself that, and it kind of eases me.
Have you ever like talked to your friends about how like you cancel plans because of your anxiety?
Yeah, they all have an understanding. Like, I'm either gonna just tell them, like, look, I feel like being lazy. I just have an off day, and they're completely understandable. And I don't do it to a point where we make plans 10 times in a row and I've canceled every time. Like, no, it's not that bad.
Well, that's really awesome that you have such like supportive friends that like understand. That's really important.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I do.
And because of that reason, like I think like that's a good indicator that like your friends really do like care and they're not like, you know, trying to get rid of you. I know it's hard to understand.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I guess if everything I thought was true, then yeah, I would have no friends.
No, but it's hard. Like I used to have really bad anxiety, and like I kind of felt that way when like I was around people and in like a situation I was necessarily like kind of uncomfortable about around. Do you feel that way about like you?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, do you think it like increases like when you're in like doing something that you don't feel confident about?
Yeah, and if there's like people I don't know around, like going to restaurants or shopping, that's where I feel really uncomfortable. I feel like the spotlight is on me. But if I'm just like at a friend's house or something like that, like more private, then it's not as bad.
Yeah, I can understand that. And like, do your parents know about like your anxiety and anything like that?
They do. My dad has gone through periods of having anxiety, but he's bizarre. Like, he thinks the cure for everything is like go out and exercise, and I hate exercise.
Me too. It's okay.
But I mean, I've talked to like even my doctor about it, but they just want to prescribe me like medications, and I don't want to take medicine. The thought of taking medicine gives me anxiety too, because then I don't know what the side effects are. I don't want to be on it forever. What if I forget? Like, it's just more responsibility, it seems like, and I don't want any more responsibility.
Yeah, I can see that. Medication is kind of like a very like you gotta do it or you don't do it kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, do you do anything to like reduce your anxiety at all, like just personally?
Usually like after a long stressful day where I felt like I'm in fight or flight mode all day, like I will drive home in silence and get home, go for a walk, just put in my headphones. Usually by the time like 30-40 minutes after the walk, my head is completely cleared. So yeah, I guess exercise does kind of help, but also just being in nature and being outside of that like work environment also helps.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Walking is like such a great way to like clear your head.
Yeah. And then if it's like where I'm out somewhere in public with friends, like, look, can we just like step out or go sit in the car or just like leave a little early? And they're pretty understanding, you know, like, yeah, sure, whatever.
That's awesome. Like, I'm really glad that you have such supportive friends. Like,
yeah, me too. I appreciate them.
Yeah, that's good. And like, have you ever sought out any like professional help for this before?
I have, but I just felt like it was kind of by the books, so I didn't really seek out another therapist after that.
What do you mean by like by the books?
Like, my counselor really didn't have a personality. She just sounded like she was reading me a textbook.
Oh, that's horrible. I'm sorry.
And I didn't like the idea of her giving me homework on the first day. Like, now I'm going to be stressed having to do this stuff for you.
What kind of homework did she give you?
I don't even remember. This was like 5 years ago.
Okay, sorry, I'm going a little far back.
No, it's okay. But and then she had given me a list of like natural remedies for anxiety, and I never really tried any of it. I just kind of dealt with it and also got used to just feeling this way.
What do you think like would help you? Like if you just had like any like access to any resource in the world, what do you think would be the most beneficial for you?
I'm really not sure.
Okay. Or like, how do you think your life would be like if your anxiety just wasn't there?
I'd probably be much more ambitious because I'd be like confident to do more things. I can't say if I would have like a better job or more school behind my name or whatnot, but I feel like I wouldn't be as held back.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be a little more progressed in life. I know that's, I mean, like, I wouldn't say be more successful because successful is defined by whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know how to describe it, but.
Whatever you make of it, whatever your goals are.
Pretty much.
Well, I think that's awesome, and I think you can definitely get there. I just think that I think you're honestly being a little too hard on yourself. Honestly,
Yeah,
um,
I've been told. Mm-hmm.
like, do you think if you just do you think if you just like like just try to push yourself a little bit, do you think that could like be helpful?
Um, I have done that. Like, this is probably my fourth or fifth attempt at coming back to school because I had a lot of anxiety about like going to class, getting there on time. The assignments are going to be too hard. I can't do it. But once I go back and I do it, I'm like, okay, one, I didn't die. This isn't that bad. Two, I ended up doing all this and it actually turned out good because my grades are good. And I've gotten good feedback from like professors and any group projects. Like, my work seems to go well with others' work as well.
That's awesome. Congratulations. You should be very proud of yourself for that.
Thanks. I minimize any of my success. That's another thing I do. But
I know it's hard. I think everyone does that, but we have to remember that
yeah, I don't want to be bragging.
but little things are definitely good to recognize. Make you feel good about yourself.
Mm-hmm. True.
And like what do you think is like your what subject do you like the most in school?
School is hard. I can't say I really like school, but in my program so far I've liked all the courses that actually relate to what I'm going to school for, which is counseling.
Oh, that's
but
awesome.
Things like math and anatomy and all that, did not like it. Or like English, reading like American classics, that just bored me to tears.
Do you notice that like when you're doing like a subject that you like, you feel like any less anxious at all?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I don't even think about being anxious because it's something I'm into and interested in.
Do you think if like you maybe did some like activities or went to some like events like around like counseling, do you think that could like help you maybe?
The word events kind of scares me. Like, that just sounds like there's going to be a lot of people and a lot of conversation. So, I don't know. But I like talking with like professors one on one and to other students one on one about like the classes and the program and our plans. But I don't know about an event or something.
Have you like connected with any other like students in your program at all?
I have. I've made a couple friends in the program, and we just have the same interests, obviously. And it's good having someone else to talk about assignments and things with. That kind of lessens the anxiety because I get more ideas and I don't feel clueless and I don't have to ask like the professor. I feel like when I ask people above me, they're gonna be like, "You should know this. Like, read the instructions." I don't know. I feel like the response won't be as positive versus asking a student.
Yeah,
Someone
I know.
in my same position. Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that. Like, even just from my past experiences in school, like always just like having someone in the same position as you just like makes you feel better.
It
like,
does.
Kind of knowing that like someone is struggling just as much as you are and succeeding just as much as you are. That's awesome though.
Yeah.
And like, how do you think like your anxiety like could be like managed better like in school? Like, do you think that there's like any one thing you notice that makes your anxiety go up in school?
I like to tell myself I work better under pressure, but I really don't. I just stress myself to tears. I notice when I get things done early before the due date, I feel much better and I feel like I can relax more, like I don't have as much on my plate. Because when I try to cram an assignment on top of work, I I can't even put in 100% either that way. And then I worry and get anxious about what my grade is going to be. But if I've done it plenty in advance, I can go back, tweak it, and I know it's going to be like
Perfect.
perfect. Yeah.
Do you like tend to procrastinate, or you try to avoid that?
I've been good this last semester. I think it's because it's like I've gotten this far, I cannot mess up, so now I really have to do good. And like the end really matters to me. Like I want to graduate. So I haven't procrastinated as bad
That's
versus
awesome.
the beginning of the year.
That's cool. Good. I'm glad. And then, so is your basically your biggest problem with anxiety is just like in social settings, like with friends and stuff like that?
Yeah, and people I don't really know.
Well, the people I don't really know, I guess I can feel that. I think that would be hard for anyone.
Yeah.
But like,
But yeah, definitely social settings and friends and also work a little bit.
and where do you work at again?
Well, I work from home, but my internship is in an office, and I just worry about messing up like anything.
What kind of office?
It's a private practice. There's like I believe 8 or 9 therapists there. So I schedule appointments, verify insurance coverage. I've done some small research on, I would say, like disorders kind of, and just giving people resources like about the problem. But I just worry because I don't know. I haven't been there for so long, so I'm learning, and I know I should be looking at it as a learning experience and not like this is gonna be. I don't even know how to describe it.
Like your career, your life, like this is everything.
Yeah, like this is life or death if I mess up. I tend to look at things that way, even though it's really not that big of a deal. Like people mess up, it happens.
Well, I think that's a good thing to realize, and I think you should definitely try to keep reminding yourself that because honestly, I think it's a barrier for everyone. I think people tend to be more self critical, but you have to remember, like, like, hey, I have an internship, and that is awesome. And this is a learning experience, and mess ups are okay. And you know what? They might actually be better because, once you mess up, you know what not to do in the future.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
And honestly, like, I know you can are worried about, like, always having to talk to other people because, like, you're not sure. But I think that's also a strength because you just have to, like, you want to be precise, and that's good.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. But, like, I think it is a learning experience, and I think that maybe after you get the hang of it a little bit more, maybe in, like, a week or, like, not a week, maybe in, like, a semester or so. And have you talked to like your supervisor or anything about how you feel?
We discussed a little bit. Like she knows that if I have the slightest bit of doubt, I'm gonna ask. But she's also said the same thing. Like, no, please do ask me. Don't just like assume and do something before you know if you should or shouldn't. But then I feel like I'm being a bother.
No, I wouldn't feel that way either because people would much rather you like ask them than mess up.
Yeah, good point.
It's like all a circle.
It is, yeah. I just gotta keep reminding myself, and thank you because I needed to hear that.
Of course. And then like, so like in social settings, like with your friends, do you like so you said you feel more comfortable in like a private setting type of thing?
Versus being somewhere with like people we don't know and it's loud and crowded. Yeah.
How often like would you say that you like do like big group things like in like major places outside compared to like private places?
Not too often. Like we usually meet somewhere quiet and quaint. But like I have 3 weddings coming up for friends, and that makes me kind of nervous. Like especially because it's formal, and I don't want to act like I know I'm not gonna act crazy, but I don't know.
Well, I think they're gonna be really fun. Weddings are so much fun. But I think like if you just, stick with first of all, stick with the people that you know, of course. Like
Yeah.
you know some people going?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good.
What I'm gonna do for sure.
And then you know what, like if this is what I do sometimes if I don't really know anyone, stay with your friends and then you can talk to the people they talk to. And then, if you see someone wearing a cool outfit, be like maybe, hey, I like your shirt.
Yeah, that's
Like,
a good
just-
idea.
Yeah. But you got it. It'll be okay, I promise. But just try to remember that most of the people there probably don't know anyone either.
Mm,
And they
sure.
most likely feel the same way you do. Maybe not exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But, and like do you think if like you just tried to push yourself to do like a few activities in like large areas of people, do you think that could help you?
Yeah, I think so. I'll get used to it. And then I'll realize after, like, that wasn't so bad. Like, you're still alive. It was fine.
You got it. We'll be okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I think it would be good if like maybe you tried to like if you maybe tried to like maybe at least like once a week with your friends, if you're doing like a bunch of like private things, maybe try to do like 1 or 2 big things. Like, do you think you could do that? Like, think that's possible?
That's reasonable. Mm-hmm.
Totally up to you. If you somehow can't do it, that's so fine. But I just think it might help you.
I think that'd be good too. And it'd be something different for us to do too. Because we're always like going to the same spots. So.
Where do you guys tend to normally go?
Just a coffee shop. That's usually around 11:30, 12, like after the morning rush.
What's coffee shop?
It's called Cornerstone Bakery in Brandon.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't been there. It's a little far from me, but it sounds good. I like
It's
coffee
good.
shops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so like overall, what would you say your goals are for like our sessions?
Just learn how to get out of my head and not be so worried about social situations.
And that's what you mean by like out of your head, like just worried and stressed.
Worried that I'm not being articulate or like the spotlight's on me and people are thinking negatively of me.
Okay, well, we can definitely work on that. I had a really great time talking to you today. Basically, the only thing I would suggest for you to maybe try to do before we meet again would be like, if you want to try to like go do a few group things, I think that might help you like get more familiar in like a big social setting. And then just try to maybe even just do some like self affirmations, like tell yourself like, I'm gonna do great, because you will do great. And the more you tell yourself that, the more you're going to do great.
I can do that.
Awesome. Well, I had a great time talking to you today, and I'll see you next week.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
I just realized you're not even in the camera.